Alright, so let's get into the study guide video. Please circle yes or no to tell if the number 90 will make each equation true. So I'm going to do these one at a time. So it's going to be, the first one is 270 divided by 90. Okay, well I can cross out my zeros. I'm left with 27 divided by 9, which is 3. So 270 divided by 90 is 3, not 30, so this is a no. Second one, 2,700 divided by 90. Cross out my zeros. It's really not crossing out by zeros. It's really dividing by 10. So you get 270 divided by 9. So 27 divided by 9 is 3 with a 0 at the end. So that one is a yes. 2,700 divided by 90 is 30. The third one, 7,200 divided by 90. Okay, well, that's the same as 720 divided by 9, so that would be 8 with a 0 at the end, 80, so 7,200 divided by 90 is not 800, it should be 80, so that's a no. And the last one, 45,000 divided by 90, cross out my zeros, so 9 goes into 45, 5 times, and 2 zeros at the end of that, so that would be 500. So yeah, 45,000 divided by 90 is 500. Next problem. Estimate 572 divided by 28. Now there's multiple ways you can do this. I think the best way is just round that to 600 divided by 28 is close to 30. So 600 divided by 30. Cross out my zeros. Really just dividing by 10. It just means that 600 divided by 30 is the same as 60 divided by 3, which is 20. Number 3. Match each expression with its quotient. So I'm going to do the work down here. 420 divided by 6. Well, 6 goes into 42 7 times, and there's a 0 at the end. So the correct answer there would be 70. So these two match. Then you have 420 divided by 60. Cross out my zeros. I get the same as 42 divided by 6, which is just 7. So this matches with 7. Then there's 42,000 divided by 6. Well, 6 goes into 42 7 times, and then there's 1, 2, 3 zeros after that. So that would be 7,000. So 42,000 divided by 6 is 7,000. And I'm not just going to assume the last one, I'm actually going to do it. So the last one is 42,000 divided by 60. Cross out my zeros. That's one big cross out. So 6 goes into 42. I'm going to bring it down here to give it some more room. 6 goes into 42 7 times, and then I have 2 zeros behind it. So it's 700, which is this one. So there you go. All four had just one match. For number 4, Mr. Wilkowski divides 378 photographs evenly into 18 stacks. How many photographs are in each stack? Use the model if it helps. Alright, so the model, you can use an area model. 18 times what number would give me 378? I like just doing the division. So 378 divided by 18. How many times does 18 go into 36? Well, 37, excuse me. I kind of gave away what I know the answer to be, which is 2 times 18 is 36. So my remainder is 1. Bring down my 8. How many times does 18 go into 18? The answer is 1 time. 1 times 18 is 18. So I have no more remainder. The answer is 21 photographs. Number 5, a parking lot has 594 parking spots. There are 33 rows with the same number of parking spots. How many parking spots are in each row? Well, it's 594 divided into 33 equal rows problems is just a division problem. So 594 divided by 33. Well, how many times does 33 go into 5? It doesn't, but 33 goes into 59. Well, 1 times 33 is 33. 2 times 33 is 66, too much, so that would be 1. 1 times 33 is 33. So I would subtract. That leaves me a remainder of 26. Bring down the 4. So now, how many times does 33 go into 264? Well, this is close to 30, and this is close to 270. So I could try 9 times, but I just kind of feel like that's going to be too high. So let's try 8 times. 8 times 33. 8 times 3 is 24, carry the 2. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 is 26. Yeah, it's exactly 264. So if I would have done 9 times, it would have been too much. But that's okay. If I made the mistake, I could just say, okay, I got a number that's higher than 264, and I could have tried 1 lower. But the correct number is 8 times. So 8 times 33 is 264. I subtract, I have no remainder, so the answer is 594 divided by 33 rows is 18 parking spots in each row. Number 6, Mr. Lipkovsky is setting up tables for a party. Each table seats 12 people. What is the fewest number of tables Mr. Lipkovsky needs for 150 people? Okay, so if I have 150 people and I divide them into groups of 12, let's see. 12 doesn't go into 1, but 12 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 12 is 12. Remainder is 3. 15 minus 12 is 3. Bring down 0. How many times does 12 go into 30? Well, 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. That's too much, so 2. 2 times 12 is 24. And my remainder is 6, so I get 12 with a remainder of 6. Well, we're talking about tables for a party, right? So if I use 12 tables, 12 times 12 is going to be 144. That would be 144 seats. That's not enough for 150 people. So I'm going to need 1 more table. So that's why 12 remainder 6, in this case, you would actually go up 1 table, and that's 13 tables for the party. That'll give me more than enough for the 150 people. Question 7. A magician paid $8,122 for 79 magic wands. Which expression shows the best estimate for the cost of each magic wand using compatible numbers? Well, compatible numbers are not just rounding. A lot of times rounding can help you get to compatible numbers, but we're looking for 2 numbers that work well together. All right, well, this is close to 8,100, and this is close to 80. Well, I'm looking at these numbers right here, and the one that looks like it works is 8,000, which is close to 8,100, because 80 goes into 8,000 pretty evenly. Let's just check the other ones. 70 into 8,000, that doesn't work too well. 80 into 8,100, that doesn't work too well. 70 into 8,100, that doesn't work too well. So it's clear that A is the best set of compatible numbers, because 80 goes evenly into 8,000. Now, which is the most reasonable estimate for the cost of each magic wand? Well, we're going to use the part 1 for us here. So 8,000 divided by 80, that would be the same as 800 divided by 8, which is 100, so the best estimate here is 100. For number 8, tell whether 50, circle yes or no, to tell if the number 50 will make each equation true. So I have 250 divided by 50, right? So I actually should write it this way, 250 over 50, cross out. That really is the same as 25 divided by 5, which is 5. So yeah, that one does look like it makes sense. How about 600 divided by 50? 600 divided by 50. Cross out, that's the same as 60 divided by 5. Cross out zeros because you're really 60 divided by 5 is 12. So, yeah, that one looks like it makes sense too. Let's try the third one. 2,500 divided by 50. Alright, so I cross out my zeros. That's the same as 250 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 25 5 times, and there's a 0 left over. So 2,500 divided by 50 should be 50. So that's a no. And the last one is 600 divided by 50. Alright, well, 600 divided by 50, if I cross out the zeros, which is really just dividing by 10, is the same as 60. How many times? Is the same as 60 divided by 5, which is 12, which, by the way, does not match here, because 600 divided by 50 would be 12, not 120. So that one is the answer there. So yes, yes, no, no. Make sure you understand these, because, you know, you will see questions like this on your quiz. Or test, I should say. Alright, number 9. Match each expression with its quotient. So I'm going to do this again. 630 divided by 90 is the same as 63 divided by 9, which is just 7. So there's our match. 630 divided by 9. Well, 9 goes into 63 7 times. With a 0 at the end, 70 is the answer there. 63,000 divided by 90 is the same as 63000 divided by 90. Well, that's the same as 6,300 divided by 9. So 9 goes into 63 7 times with 1, 2 zeros remaining. 700. So 700. And if we did it right, the last one should match. Let's see. 63000 divided by 9. Gonna put the answer down here. Well, 9 goes into 63 7 times, and I have 1, 2, 3 zeros, so 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 63,000 divided by 9 should be 7,000. Yep, there's our answer. Alright, number 10. The question that is absolutely made up and nonsensical. Mr. Lipkowski hit 1,232 home runs in 14 seasons playing for the New York Mets. If he hit the same number of home runs each season, how many home runs did he hit each season? Well, this is a division problem. So 1, 2, 3, 2 divided by 14. Alright, how many times does 14 go into 12? It does not. How many times does 14 go into 123? Well, let's kind of do this a unique way. 14 times 10 is 140. That's obviously too much. Well, if I subtract 14 from that, that would be 130 minus 4 more is 126. So that really means that 14 times 9 equals 126. Still too much. So if I do 14, so if I subtract 14 from that, I'm going to get, that's 2, 1, 1, 112. So 14 times 8 is 112. So you see what I did here? I started with 14 times 10, and then I subtracted 14 a couple times until I got a number close to this. So 112 is less than 123, but it's still close to it. By the way, just to check that this works, I'm going to do 8 times 14. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11, 112. So, yeah, it's the same answer. So that means 14 goes into 123. 8 times 14 is 112. My remainder would be 1, 1, and that's a 0. So I bring down my 2. How many times does 14 go into 112? Well, we actually already know that from the previous step. So 8 times 14 is 112. We subtract, we have no more remainder. season, which is absolutely ridiculous, the fact that I'd play for the Mets or the fact that I'd hit 88 home runs, which is 15 more home runs than the record of 73 held by Barry Bonds. Alright, this is a straight up division problem. 672 divided by 14. Alright, I'm going to see. Let's say I think that 14 goes into 67. Let's say I think 6 times. Let's see if that works. 6 times 14. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2 is 84. So clearly 84 is way too much. So I'm going to subtract another 14 from that. And I get 70. Right? Still too much. So I'm going to subtract 14 from that. And that's going to give me 70 minus 10 is 60, minus another 4 is 56. So that seems to be the best number. So what did I do here? I started with 6, and then I took away 114. I took away another 14, so that's 6 groups of 14 minus 1 minus 1. That would leave me with 4 groups of 14. So just to check that, I want to see 4 times 14 is 16, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1. Yep, 56, same answer. So 4 times 14 is 56, which means my remainder is 7 minus 6 is 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. And I bring down the 12. Now, I kind of remember from the last problem, but I'm going to try to see if 14 times 8 will give me 112. And I actually know it because I remember doing it in the last problem. So, how many times does 14 go into 112? I believe it's 8. Let's just check that. 8 times 4, 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Yep, exactly 112. So the number that goes up here is 8. 8 times 14 is 112. We have no remainder, so the answer to this is 672 divided by 14 is 48. Alright, let's try this one. 1,183 divided by 13. Alright, does 13 go into 11? No. 13 into 118. Let's try this strategy. Let's try 10 groups of 13. That's 130. Alright, well, I'm going to subtract 13 from that, which means I would get 117. So 9 groups of 13 should be 117, because 10 groups is 130. If I subtract 13 from that, 9 groups of 13 is 117. That looks like it works, but let's just check that that actually equals 117. So 9 times 3 is 27. Carry the 2. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Yep, 117. So 9 times 13 is 117. My remainder is 1. I bring down the 3. How many times does 13 go into 13? 1 time. 1 times 13 is 13. We have no remainder. There's our answer. Oops, let's fix that real quick. 91 times. Number 13. 484 divided by 22. Well, 22 goes into 48 2 times. 2 times 22 is 44. So my remainder is 4. Bring down this 4, and I have 22 goes into 44. Well, we already did that. 2 times 22 is 44. Subtract. I have no more remainder. The answer is 22. Number 14. A museum exhibit can be seen oh, I should have had the word by in there. Can be seen by 6 times 10 to the third visitors each day. The museum is open for 2 times 10 to the first hours each day. How many visitors can visit the museum each hour? Okay, well, we have 6 times 10 to the third, so that's 6 times 1,000, or 6,000 visitors a day. And it's open for 20 times 10 to the first, so 20 times 10 which is 20 hours. How many visitors can visit each hour? Well, 6,000 visitors divided by 20 hours. Well, that's the same as 600 over 2, so that's 300 visitors per hour. Number 15, 675 divided by 15, 675 divided by 1, 5. Well, 15 doesn't go into 6, but 15 does go into 67 4 times, because 4 times 15 is 60. My remainder is 7. Bring down the 5. 15 goes into 75 5 times. 5 times 15 is 75, and I have no remainder. The answer is 45. And now the last problem, 4, 5, 7, 9 divided by 19. Well, 19 doesn't go into 4, but 19 goes into 45. 19 is close to 20, so 20 times 2 is 40. Yeah, let's try 2 times. 2 times 19 is 38. My remainder is going to be 15 minus 8, 7. Bring down the 7. 19 goes into 77. Let's see. 20 times 3 is 60. That's not enough. 20 times 4 is 80. Let's try 4. 4 times 19. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Yep, that's under 77, 76. So we're going to do 4 times 19 is 76. Remainder is 1. We bring down the 9. 19 goes into 19 one time. 1 times 19 is 19. No more remainder. Answer is 241. Hope this helped.